Hi, welcome to Saverboobies. My name is Gina Andrews, and today I have a special guest with us. Her name is Sonny Rose, and she's a breast cancer survivor as well. She's going to go ahead and share a little bit about her story and what she's doing today to help other women battling with cancer as well. Hi, Sonny. Welcome.
Thanks, Gina. Hi, nice to be here.
Nice to meet you. Let me ask you a little bit about when you were diagnosed and, a little bit more about your treatment and how you recovered and what you did to help you with the quick recovery through your breast cancer treatment.
Sure. Well, for me, it came really as a surprise out of the blue. It was a routine mammogram. They noticed some spots. So the next thing I knew, went through a series of all kinds of tests, biopsies, and the day after 9/11, I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
Oh, wow. Can I ask you, real quick, I'm sorry, can I ask you how old you were when you found out you had breast cancer?
Yeah, I was 45 years old.
Oh, that's still young. And do you have it in your family?
Not breast cancer. We have other cancers, but not breast.
Okay.
So yes, this was a surprise, and my doctor kept saying, "I'm sure we'll get it with just a lumpectomy." But long story short, they could not find clear margins. I ended up having to have a mastectomy, and unfortunately, it had gone to my lymphs, my lymph node as well. So I had to have follow-up treatment with chemotherapy, which was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm.
And knock on wood, I've been good. I went through almost 8 months of chemotherapy, had reconstructive surgery, managed to work during that time, had a teenage daughter, but I got through it.
Now, I was reading a little bit about your bio. You mentioned you went through the process alone. Was it because you didn't have resources where you live, or, can you tell us a little bit about that journey that you had to go through?
Yeah, well, during the diagnosis and the treatment, I had support. I had wonderful support groups for breast cancer in the area, family and friends. But what I didn't have at the time was support post-treatment. And for me personally, I was finding that it's not over just because the treatment's over.
Right.
And there are a lot of issues emotionally, physically, spiritually that I was still dealing with. And I did not find that there were any support groups that could help me really integrate it on all those levels.
Right.
So that I was able to move forward and beyond the cancer. So that's where I found there was a real need.
And I think you mentioned to me on a conversation we had that it did affect your personal life as well. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes. I was already having difficulties in my own marriage, and with the onset of breast cancer, you can imagine how that impacts a family anyhow. But if you're in a situation where there's already difficulty, it can really heighten the difficulty, and not only with a spouse, but even with friendships.
Right.
You really to find out who's there and who's not there.
Absolutely.
And with this crisis and the scope of it, it just really exemplified how I felt so alone in my marriage because my husband wasn't able to be there for me.
Right.
And that caused me to really, really ask some deep questions and look at how honest I was being in dealing with this. And if I was going to go forward and heal through this, I had to be really living in my truth, and I had to make some really difficult choices.
I really appreciate that you're sharing such a personal story with us, because I've come across a lot of women that have lost their marriages. The men in their life have left them because they couldn't handle with this crisis. And I know this firsthand because it was difficult for my marriage as well to go through this. And not only was it difficult at the time because we just had a child. Now that I'm battling
Mm.
with breast cancer at the same time. So I really appreciate that you're sharing this with us. I know you're going to talk more about that because you're helping women right now that are going through some difficulties in their relationship, whether they're currently in treatment or after treatment. And we're going to do a different segment on that, but I wanted to go ahead and ask you now, how are you helping other women that's probably battling with some sort of cancer, because you're taking your own experience, and from that experience you're able to help other women to heal from what they're going through as far as any kind of major illness in their life, correct?
Yes. Well, I'm trained as a psychotherapist, so my background has been in working with diverse groups of people through all kinds of crises and life transitions. So I carry with me the experience of that, and I also have a perspective, which is a mind body spiritual perspective. So when I was looking at what I went through and what I felt was missing in the process of healing on a mind body spiritual level, I decided to design a program, a healing program, which is a 2 month healing program. It's a mind body spiritual perspective. It's easily accessible via Skype or phone, so it reaches people from all over the globe. And there are various groups depending on where people are in their treatment, but there are some very universal issues that we're all dealing with during and post treatment. And so, what I'm offering is to help people connect to themselves and really find what the gift, if you will, was in the cancer experience, because it does open the door for us to transform and inspire ourselves to
Mm-hmm.
live more deeply and more fully. And that's really what the program is about.
Oh, wonderful. Great. Well, I think it's really important for women to be able to talk to someone, because I know I've come across some women that never dealt with the cancer and other thing that's what's going in their life, and afterwards they're still, even if it's been several years out, they're still dealing with the treatment, the effects of treatment, emotionally, physically. And so I think it's really important for women to know that there are programs like yours available to them, especially with Skype now. They don't have to come to your office. They can get the treatment through the internet. So wonderful. Well, I'm really excited that you're here today. Was there anything else, Sunny, that you wanted to mention before we end the interview?
Well, if anyone has any questions about it, they can contact you or they can contact me. I'm sure you'll present my contact
Yeah, we're
information.
gonna go ahead and put it on the video, and then we're gonna go ahead and put your a website on the video and your contact information. And we're also gonna do other segments. So we're gonna talk about relationships later on, and we're gonna talk about some of the different, more in depth, the different programs that you're gonna offer, and also you're gonna give us some tips on what women can do to kind of help with the healing process.
Absolutely, be happy to.
Oh,
Really happy
wonderful.
to.
Thanks so much, Sunny. And thanks for tuning in with Saverboobies. And like I said, we'll have Sunny's information on our website. And feel free to contact her should you have any questions. Thank
Thank
you.
you.